Hi, I'm Andrew, the Paisley Robot Guy, and we're working on the Hiwonder TurboPi Advanced Kit. Right now we're going to install the line follower. This is a little tricky, and I'll explain why in a bit. Okay, so here we need to get our remaining two standoffs. Here's the tiny ones, the M4 by 28 standoffs. I'm going to take these out of their bag and put them in my plastic cup for safekeeping. So here we go, opening up the bag, taking the standoffs out, and throwing out the bags. You know what they say, clean up as you go along. All right, so those two standoffs are there. Now the next thing to do is to get the M4 by 8 screws. So I will grab some M4 by 8 screws, and here they are. We'll need 4 of them. They're nicely packaged and labeled. And I'll take my other plastic cup and I'll put 4 screws in there. 1, 2, 3, and one more. Yeah, there we go. So here are the 4 screws. And I'm going to tighten up my bag. And I'll move this screwdriver out of the way. And this is tricky, right? Because once the line follower module attaches here to these 2 holes, I'm going to point to it with my big magnetic screwdriver, right? These 2 holes. So the line follower attaches the bottom up, and those standoffs on the bottom, the screws will go in here, and they'll go into the standoffs, right? Okay, well the next thing, this module, the ultrasonic sensor module, so this is the ultrasonic here, and then this has got the mount for the HD camera bracket. That will go here. And that covers up the holes for the line follower. Because you can't get to that. So once this module goes on top, we can't get to the line follower screws for adjustment. So this stage is critical. This is a very critical stage in constructing our robot. So I will procure or get the line follower module. So here it is in its static bag. It's an anti-static bag. And there's also a trick that we're going to have to do with the servo motor cable. Actually, while we're here, I'll grab one of these cables and put it on my glass. All right. And we will come back to that in a second. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to take the line follower module out of it. We'll be careful here. Okay, so the sensor cable goes here. These are the sensors. And then the standoffs will go into 2 of those 4 holes. It's actually the rear. So this is the rear part of the sensor. So it's going in that hole and that hole. Okay. So this is a little tricky. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the standoffs started on this sensor first. So I'll start towards the bottom. I'll grab my magnetic screwdriver that Hiwonder gave me with this kit, or actually I bought with this kit rather. So let's see here. So again, orientation. This is the top. So this will go up into the chassis. So I'll get this screw on my screwdriver, put it through here, get this standoff started. Now again, this is tricky because, and again, I wish there was a torque specification. It has to be tight. Remember, because when we assemble this, it'll be very difficult to tighten it. You don't want this to be too tight because I don't want to warp the printed circuit board. So this line follower module, it's a printed circuit board and the sensors are down here. And printed circuit board material, it's typically FR4, fire retardant 4, basically some form of fiberglass, right? And you know, you got to be careful drilling and putting pressures on fiberglass, right? Because it can break. So I'll put that there. Start screwing this in and make sure it's tight. It's pretty tight. Okay. So this is tight. It's tight. Substantially tight. I don't think I'm going to take the pliers to this. Again, I don't want to break the fiberglass to which this board is attached. Oops, almost lost a couple screws there. So again, this line follower module goes down here and like this, in this fashion, right? So it's going to be a little tricky to get these started. So I'll put that off to the side like this. Again, I'm right-handed, so I will hold the assembly with my left hand while I perform the manipulation with my right hand. So get that in. Let's see here. Let's see. Here's the correct screw hole. Somewhat bit of an ordeal. So I'm starting with the screw hole in the orientation of what this is located towards the bottom. So get this started. Okay, so I'll show you what this is now. So as you can see, this is the line follower module. It's a little bit loose for alignment issues. All right, so the screw is in there, but there's a little bit of slop, right? I can move this around freely. Don't want to put too much in immediately. Don't want to make it too tight immediately. So I'm going to have some space there to get the other screw started. So I'll get the next screw. Use my magnetic screwdriver. Hold it in this fashion to get it started. And get the alignment started here. And it takes a little bit of finesse. So let's see, I can feel the screw catching the standoff. And it seems to have caught it. So I'm going to start tightening it down. Okay, so that is tight. And here's the next one. This one's going in, and it is tight. Now remember, I said I didn't want to use the pliers earlier because I didn't want to warp the fiberglass or ruin the fiberglass. But in this instance, these two screws are going through this anodized aluminum body. So I'm going to take my pliers, right? These, you see these standoffs? I'm going to take it to the standoff, and I'm going to hold it stationary while I screw in this one to make it a little bit tighter. Okay, because this, in this instance, the screw action goes against the anodized body. And then I'll go to this one here. Now remember, when that assembly with the ultrasonic sensor and the pan tilt servo go on top, we won't be able to get to these screws. And while I'm here, I'm going to take this sensor cable and I'm going to attach it. Yes, I'm going to attach it while it's here and while I can get to it. Now at a later stage, we'll put the battery pack down here, and when the battery pack goes in, it'll be much harder for us to attach this sensor cable. So I'm going to leave it here, and in the future, I'll route it up this way. I'll route it through the hole, but until then, I'll just leave it here, and again, be careful not to stress it too much. So I'll put that back there, put that cable back there, and we'll take this assembly. Be mindful of the cables. Again, don't want to stress them too much. And this will go up here. And the screws I need to go there are the M3 by 6 screws. So I will locate the M3 by 6 screws. These are the M3 by 6 screws. They are black anodized screws, just as this frame. So it can be a little bit difficult to line up the screw holes and the screws because everything's black. Very difficult to see. So I'll get 4 of these. One more. Okay, so there are 4 M3 by 6 black anodized screws here. And I'm actually going to use a precision screwdriver for this one. Let's take a look at these. I may need to change out my tip for a thicker thread. Actually, let's see, I can use the one that Hiwonder provides. Excuse me, my memory's a little bit foggy here. So again, we'll get these screws started. I'll get this one started. Okay, this one's started with a little bit of slot for alignment issues, and then I like to go diagonally in a star configuration. That's especially important when you start torquing things down. So I'm going to move this here so I can see the screws better from my perspective. So I'm behind the robot. Okay, so that goes there, and we'll put another one in here. This one goes in here. Again, these are just getting started. Put this one in here. There goes my cup. Oh no. There it goes. I can put it right there. And here's the final screw. And this one, I'm actually just going to start torquing it down. So I got that one. It's nice and tight. Again, we'll do this one. It's nice and tight. I got this one. Torquing it down. It's nice and tight. And the final one. This one is nice and tight. Now again, don't want to be too tight. So here we go. So here's the assembly. Looks like our robot's coming together. Here's the front. And it's now starting to look like a robot now. So we'll take a break here before moving on to our next video. Hi, I'm Andrew, the Paisley Robot Guy. And if you like what you saw in that video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below. I'd very much appreciate it. Thanks.